in Missouri, but if you live anywhere in the Midwest, around this time, which is like the last week in February, you get what's called cabin fever. The weather's terrible usually. In fact, yesterday we had some snow. It's rainy half the time. It's cold. It's nasty. You're in the house. There's nothing much to do. In fact, if you have something to do, you probably don't feel like doing it. That's known as cabin fever. You've got to get out. You got to do something. So the only thing I can think of to do today is just run up to the Recplex and do some walking around the track, which I do quite often. But this is the time of year that's very difficult. And here you can see the type of day it is. Gray, cloudy, a little snow on the ground still. Most of it has melted. Yesterday was a sloppy mess. But these are the kind of days that cabin fever strikes. Now, of course, I'm retired, so cabin fever may strike me harder than some, but, you know, even if you're working, you get out in the morning and go to work, you know, going to work is not the most exciting thing in the world, and, cabin fever can strike you on the weekend. You get home after working all week expecting to do something, and the weather's terrible. You can't get out to do anything. You're stuck in the house. You got projects you can do in the house, but when cabin fever strikes, you don't want to do them. You don't feel like doing them. I can do them later. Of course, later the weather will be nice and you won't do them. But it's just, and the other thing I've realized, cabin fever causes restless leg syndrome. That's where you can't get comfortable, your legs are kind of tingly, or your knees and are, you know, feel like that you're gonna crawl out of your skin. You gotta walk around, you gotta shake it off. So I think that's a cause. Restless leg syndrome has to be from cabin fever. I think maybe that some of the doctors ought to look into that, because I think that's where that comes from. Probably a lot of other ailments come from cabin fever also. It may be, I don't know if they ought to come up with a vaccine for that. Heaven forbid, if you should contract a cold at the same time that you're suffering from cabin fever, that could be cause for hospitalization. I'm riding by the hospital, just happened to be going by there, and if you look over at the emergency room, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm sure it's filled with people that have cabin fever. It's probably a little-known epidemic, and it may be very serious, and we may not even know it. We may need a government investigation into a little-known disease that's affecting all kinds of people, and nobody knows about it. Maybe they should watch this video. See, this is what happens when you have cabin fever. You just talk crazy. Well, I'm here at the Recplex, so I'll go see if I can walk it off. Wow, look at all the cars here, see? There's all kinds of people here trying to get rid of this cabin fever. This is one way to do it. The other way, of course, is to go to the emergency room and be treated. But I'm going to try this.